behold his final Bankai after everything. Tensa, and it broke. Ichigo, I don't think that was supposed to happen. Like, after, like, him trying to give this whole speech, just like, you know, I've gone through thick and thin, I've surpassed everything and all that, over and over, just to make this there, like, you know, make it to this very moment. And then he does it, he goes, Bankai, like that, and finally does it, and he does Tensa Zangetsu, and we see the new blade, and it breaks immediately. Ichigo, I mean, firstly, like, I guess the first thing we're going to talk about in this chapter is the actual blade itself, where, like, we get to see the actual, like, its design from what we see in the Bankai, and like, honestly, this kind of made me think, like, I don't think this is the final design at all. I think there's going to be more to, like, the Bankai, there's going to be another version to it. I think, like, Ichigo is going to be that one character that's finally going to, like, exceed that point and, like, do something else with the ability, because from how it looks and the blade's design itself, from what we can see, like, obviously you can see, like, the black part was, like, the middle core part. Then you had the white part, which was obviously, like, you know, his hollow part of his powers as well. Then you can see that the two finally combined into one. It does, like, out of all his blade designs, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably, like, the weakest design out of them all. And I feel like that just makes me feel like, especially after, like, just immediately saying that it just got taken, like, just apart like that, like, it was just fucking nothing, it just made me feel like, oh, well, there's gonna be something else to it there, because, like, immediately you watch, it's just like, oh, I just destroyed your blade in a single thought, and, like, Ichigo just started, like, freaking out, like, saying, oh dear god, he just like, my big ultimate super cool move just got, like, literally just got stomped on, and yeah, like, all that is just you watch that, I saw through the future, and I broke it, and decides to do the same thing as well, and takes his fucking horn off, I mean, the coolest part of, like, Ichigo's design right now, and just decides to throw it. So it's like, he's taken all the moments, like, that he's just had out of the way there, and I finally noticed, like, especially now that we got a lot more of a closer look at, like, Ichigo, is that, like, his actual, like, chest part, like, the body itself, where we get to see, like, you know, the hollow part of him, like, fusing together with it, you can clearly see that he's actually still hollow hole itself, like, as a tattoo now, like, when he's, like, fusing, obviously, with his hollow stuff. So I think that's, like, an actually cool, like, little addition to, like, what we got to see from it. And even, like, the one thing that I know I had to do after everything, it was like, yeah, go and protect me, and it was like, yeah, that didn't work, like, after everything, because it's like, the thing is with the Almighty, and it's like, you know, the future can be changed. That's what you said, isn't it? Well, just to clarify, the Almighty is not a power to see the future, it is a power to transform the future. And yeah, despair for me, Ichigo, as I'm now about to take you to Browntown. So Ichigo, I clearly was not ready to, like, to deal with this almighty power. Like, he clearly, like, needs another, like, stage up, another thing to do it, like a final Getsuga Tencho's kind of, like, sort of situation. Or, like, I generally think, because of that, like, Bankai, like, display there, I generally think, like, what's going to happen is Ishin's going to arrive, like, someone's going to arrive right now and, like, try and get him out of here, buy him some time so he can do something. And if that is his final design through his Bankai, I'm sorry, I don't really care for the design too much. I don't, like, and that's the thing, because, like, I was gushing about it, like, last week, where it's like, I always normally like Kubo's designs. Obviously, I really like the full hollow, like half combination thing they did with it, but I generally don't like his blade design. I think this is the weakest one that he's got out of them so far, and that's the thing. Like, the first Bankai is obviously just the cloak, and also as well, like, adding into it the katana. And then the second version was like a scimitar, like, it was a lot longer, and then it had, like, little sharp points to it. And then obviously we'd have, like, the 4 ring versions, which, you know, I didn't care for the Power Ranger design, but I really did enjoy, like, seeing, like, you know, the cloak design, like, you know, having the hilt one. And I think, I don't know, it's just like, it just looks like his like his Shikai version, which I think that just shows to me that this really isn't, like, his last, like, thing that he's going to be doing. Especially, like, how easily you watch just destroyed it after everything. I mean, you can see, like, the chain has, like, grown over, and it's just, like, out of all of them, I like, you know, like, from when he came back from that little time, when he was now about to fight Aizen, like, I like Bankai Ichigo the most, because he finally had, like, the gauntlet, and then he, like, fused with the arm, and it was, like, it was really cool, and I like that design. I don't know, it's, like, this is the one where I was, like, I actually don't care for this. I was like, I'm curious to see what people think about it itself, like, since we did get that one panel of the actual blade itself, and then the next panel. I think that's just because, like, we had that, and then immediately just de-hyped it, like, because it immediately got broken. That might be an addition to it, but coming from it, like, just, you watch this entire chapter, just fucking stomped on him, decided to take the cool part of this horn as well, which I was like, don't do that, because now Ichigo just looks like himself again, like that, just like with a little bit of the fucking bit of horn just sticking out. I was like, no, give him his normal sign. And just like seeing like clearly like he's done that, like now we can see like obviously like his like all his power, it seems like the hollow part of him has gone because his eye has just turned back into normal now. So I think now Ichigo's just pretty much just gone back into his normal form now with a broken blade, and I don't, there's like Ichigo's got to clearly do something about that, because since like from the point like we've seen that when last time that he obviously like his blade was broken, it was like something that, you know, he had to repair and he had to fix and pretty much sort out. So like who knows what's going to be happening with this time with like obviously with this blade, so I'm kind of curious to see. But I did enjoy this chapter. Like we finally got the understanding of like what obviously Yawashi's power is to transform the future, which is a nuts power, but I think clearly we can see at the end of this chapter, this just shows like right from the start that immediately that Ishin is probably going to step in, and like, you know, Ryuken's probably going to come in and like help like Uryu with his fight. So maybe we're probably going to see a little bit of an Ishin fight between you watch, while like Ichigo probably finds out like something to do with his powers, like, you know, something maybe if he can repair the blade, if he can act that isn't the actual final form, maybe there's like a form that he's finally got over like, you know, the Tensa Zangetsu. I'm curious to see and all that, but yeah, like I came out of this chapter and I was like, wow, design wise I generally just didn't care for it. I was like, wow, this is the one decided I was a little, like, you know, I'm not too sure on it, but other than that, I still did enjoy the chapter. Like you watch, clearly just like stomped on Ichigo's parade right there, and I'm really excited to see what next chapter is. Like really looking forward to Ishin probably arriving next week, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I think this is a good chapter. I would give it a 7.5, but I think it would have been a lot higher if I genuinely liked the blade design. But I don't know, just I think seeing that, I don't think this is the last thing that we're going to be seeing out of Ichigo. I think like we didn't even get to see what the blade can do, and I think there's just a way much higher stage that he can do to go against your watch. But that's all from me. Thank you much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.